Page 39, Scarborough Fair. On page 38, they're talking about the key of D minor. Okay, let's talk the key of D minor. On the major keys, we've had C major, G major, D major, and F major. So we got no sharps or flats, one sharp, two sharps, and one flat so far. Keep in mind we can go up to 7 sharps and 7 flats. All right, one day at a time now. Well, in F major, you get 1 flat, and the relative minor, that is the minor with the same key signature, 1 flat, is D minor. Again, they say it's the 6th step of the scale. If I do an F major and I count up 6, remember the step I'm on is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I get to D minor. I'm too lazy to count up 6, so I just go down 3. From F, 1, 2, 3, and that gets me there. Same thing. Okay. D minor has 1 flat. So now when you're doing the scales, F major, you need to do the D minor scale also. And normally we would use the harmonic minor because the natural minor is just like it is in the key signature. The harmonic minor, remember, takes the 7th step. 1 less than 8 is 7. And takes it up a half step. I like harmonic minor. Sounds good. Or the melodic minor, which you may run into pieces, otherwise don't worry about it. It's the where you take the 6th and 7th steps up. So instead of B flat, it'd be B natural, and a C natural here. So instead of this, according to the key signature, it's this. Both steps, 6 and 7, go up. But then when you go down, you do natural minor. So with that. So I raised them going up and then played natural coming down. That's melodic minor. As I said, I wouldn't worry about it too much. You'll find it in pieces occasionally. Just play the notes as they show them. But a lot of times in D minor, you will see a bunch of C sharps. That's because we're using the harmonic minor. So let's talk this fair thing and see what we get. It's a page long, although it's longer than that because the repeat's on. But it's a page of music to deal with. Treble bass clef, 1 flat in the key signature. It tells you it's either an F major or D minor. They're already telling you it's in D minor. If you look at the end, the last 2 measures at the bottom, it's here. That's a D minor chord. Because a lot of times the pieces will end on their 1 chord. So a D minor chord would end on a D chord, a D minor chord. Remember major and minor triads? Minor third, major third is a minor triad. A major triad, a major third, and a minor third is a major triad. So we have a C major and D minor, E minor, F major. We'll review these occasionally because it helps us to understand other stuff coming if you can get this now. Now, speaking of now, 3/4 time signature, 1 hand at a time. Right hand, you're starting here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3. And I'm trusting by now you're starting to understand dotted rhythms, so I don't have to keep explaining them. If not, please go back to where they introduced them and review all of that. Here. Now, 2nd line, reach up. Can you reach that? If not, use 3rd finger. But 4th finger here. So I don't care if you do here or here. But I want to connect them. 2, B now. Okay. Now in the 3rd line down, we're here. A3, crossover. That's fine, you can do that. But remember, we have 2 A's there in the 2nd, 3rd measure. So what I would prefer to do is just go from there to 5. This puts me in position. So the 3rd line, 5. You need to be able to go from any finger to any finger. So I'm going from here to here. That's all. This way I'm not crossing over. Yeah. Let's do the last line down there. When you repeat it at the bottom, you're here, and you got to lift up. So 3rd finger's fine, you can lift up. But the 2nd time, you're up here when you play that. So I want to play that with thumb. the second time. So when I'm all I got to do is just reach up for the last chord here. So the first time I'm going to play it with third, but when the second time comes, I'm going to play that note with thumb. Figure it however your teacher tells you to. Now, the second time, there's a note above the staff. Second time maybe, well, that's the top staff. Not both, just the top staff. So the right hand, second time you can play them up here. So when you're done down here at the bottom, you repeat, you got to lift up and come up. You play it all down here. Left hand, looks like we got broken chords. We got here, D minor chord. Then go down this C chord. Just reach down. D minor chord. I'm using 3-5 or 5-3-1 on all of these until second line, fourth measure. That's 4 chord. Sort of. Actually, the 4 chord would be here, but we can do that too. And then there's a name for that chord. I don't want to get into it. Third line down. Just play the notes. That's fine. They're all quarter notes, so the rhythm should be okay. Put that together, starting with the third measure. We're here, then here, then here, then here. And the left hand's coming down a little. Left hand comes back up. Right hand goes up. So I put the hands together. And keep in mind when you repeat, the right hand's going to be up here. The left hand doesn't move. Okay. Then once I put the hands together, I'll go back over it as slowly as I need to and get rid of the hesitations. No hesitations. Then I have the articulation. This is very connected. You can lift up for the phrasing in the right hand. On the second line, you're here. You can lift up. Like taking a breath. The left hand connected. So I lift it up here, but not here. I can lift up the right hand, but not the left. So I'm lifting up for the phrasing in the right. I'm connecting the left all the way through. And after the articulation, I add the dynamics. That applies to the melody, but they give you a P at the beginning, and that's okay because at least you know how they're helping you out. There's no melody, that's fine, soft, and then this, moderately soft. So the left hand's staying out of the way. Whether you stay soft or go down to very soft, you have to decide. But we want to hear the melody, and that's sort of soft. Then second line, second measure, go up to about a moderately loud. Now, in the end of the second line, that dies away. Because the diminuendo, well, it dies away. The left hand, you're sort of, try to bring the left hand down. Try and diminuendo the left hand to help bring it out. And then moderately loud. Then down. Then you're soft at the end of the third line. Now the last two measures at the bottom, it's very soft here and super soft here. And then you just let it die away. I'll show you a little more about a technique we can use to help us let it die away later on in the lesson. Because the fermata, you're just going to hold that out a while. Okay. If I do it with a metronome, I'll just double it and hold it 6 counts instead of 3. Then after the dynamics, I add the speed. And this is, again, kind of moderately relaxed. 2. Don't drag it, but it's not quick either. And you see the repeat signs, you know how those work. Okay, because when you repeat, you got to come up, the right hand's got to come up here. You come up. The second time, you're playing it all up here, even the end. Then I add the pedal. So I want to do it all with the hands first. Make sure the fingers are doing what they need to do, and I can hear it well without the pedal. So when I add the pedal, I know exactly the effect it's having. And do I like it or not like it? I don't know. First, we'll try the pedaling suggested. And if we don't like it, and I won't, then we'll change it. It's the overlapping pedal, notes first, then the pedal, and they're holding it down for the first full measure, 4 measures. And change. If that sounds okay to you, use it. However, I think if that sounds okay to you, you're not listening, because that sounded really bad. I don't want all this. And I don't want this. This. I don't want all that. It's just terrible. I got to clean up the melody. As long as you're playing the same note, I mean, we can use the pedal to help us connect the notes here. But I'm going to change the pedal in the next measure because the melody, I want to keep the melody clean. And in the last measure, the first line, I just lift the pedal up for the 3rd beat. That's quite common in 3/4 time. A lot of times when your melody's doing things, just lift the pedal up for the last beat or 2. To clear it out. That's all right. In the second line, we're here. I'm going to lift the pedal up for the phrasing, and I'm not pedaling the second measure. And then here, lift up, and the next measure, the 4th measure, I'm not pedaling that. I want it clean. I don't want yuck here. See, in the 3rd line down 3rd measure, they're telling you not to pedal it there. That's to keep it clean. I'm surprised. So I'm lifting the pedal up on a lot of these on the 3rd beat of the measure to keep it clean. And it's like the last line, 2nd measure. I'm not going to pedal that measure. Just. That keeps the melody clean. And that's what I'm after. That's the effect I want. Now at the end, the last measure, you've got all the sound going. The pedal is down. You're waiting for it to die away. Now depending on your piano, you can try this out or not. Some electric keyboards do it, some don't. You let the keys up. Keep your hands on the keys. Just let the keys up. And then slowly lift the pedal. And that way the dampers slowly touch the strings and the sound slowly dies away. I don't want here and then all of a sudden, nothing. That's like an accent. It's like, whoa, no, we want it to die away. Here. Let the keys up and then slowly lift the pedal and just let the strings slow. Okay. If your electronic keyboard doesn't do that, some do, some don't, you can reach up to the volume control and slowly turn it down. It doesn't matter how you get the effect. We just want the sound to gradually die away. That's all. And that works when there's a fermata and it's very soft to begin with. You can do that. Let's play this together slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. However, I will do the pedaling as I suggested so you can see it again because it's easy enough to hear the notes. We will do the repeat. I'll give us 3 counts. 1, ready, go. Repeat. Three, hold, 2, 3, off.